Look, going through a divorce is, without a doubt, one of the toughest things anyone can face. And when you have to figure out how to divide your biggest asset, your home, it can feel completely overwhelming. So today, we're going to break down a really crucial piece of that puzzle, the home appraisal. We'll give you a clear, step-by-step guide specifically for how it works here in San Jose so you can move forward with a little more confidence.
So where do you even start? Well, the first step is to really understand the core challenge that so many couples are up against during a separation. This is the big question, isn't it? Your home, it's more than just bricks and mortar, right? It's filled with memories, but in the eyes of the law, it's a financial asset. So how do you separate all that emotion from the actual equity to get to a number that's fair for everyone? The answer, it turns out, lies in a fundamental legal principle.
Here in California, the law is really clear. We have what's called community property. Basically, this means the value you've built up in your home during your marriage is considered jointly owned, 50-50. This isn't really a point for negotiation, it's a legal requirement. And that's exactly why getting an accurate appraisal isn't just helpful. It is absolutely essential to make sure the assets are divided legally and fairly.
Okay, so we've identified the problem. Now what's the solution? Thankfully, there is a clear professional process that's designed to cut right through all the complexity and emotion. Let's talk about how a home appraisal is the tool that really paves the way for a fair resolution.
You know, a professional divorce appraisal is so much more than just a number on a page. It really does four key things. First, it gives you a credible, unbiased value so you can split the equity accurately. Second, it acts as that neutral third-party opinion that judges, attorneys, and mediators all trust. Third, by setting a clear baseline, it can actually speed up the whole settlement process. And finally, it does the very important job of separating the home's market value from its sentimental value, which is absolutely crucial for any legal proceeding. Now, it's really important to get this, not all appraisals are created equal. The one you got when you bought the house or refinanced is totally different from what you need for a divorce. A divorce appraisal is specifically built for legal use. And here's a key difference. It can determine the value of your home on a past date, like the day you officially separated. This is called a retrospective appraisal, and believe me, it is a critical tool for your legal team.
All right, let's get practical. You know why you need an appraisal, so now let's break down exactly how to get it done. Here is your step-by-step action plan. To make sure you get the most accurate appraisal possible, a little bit of prep work on your end goes a long way. Try to gather a list of any improvements you've made, along with dates and costs if you have them. If you did any major renovations, have those permits handy. And if you have an HOA, get that info together. Providing these documents upfront just makes for a smoother and much more precise valuation.
So here are the four main steps. First, talk to your attorney to figure out if you need the home's current value, its value from the date you separated, or maybe even both. Second, and this is so important, find a licensed appraiser who has specific experience with divorce cases. They really get the legal details. Third, when you call them, be upfront and clear that the appraisal is for a divorce. This tells them exactly what kind of report to prepare. And finally, you just schedule the on-site inspection. Okay, the appraiser is scheduled to visit. What happens next? Let's pull back the curtain a little bit and see the meticulous process an appraiser uses to figure out your home's credible, legally defensible value. The whole thing starts with an on-site inspection. The appraiser will come to your home, take measurements, photograph all the rooms, and make detailed notes about its condition, its layout, any upgrades you've done, and maybe any areas that need repairs. You can think of this as the main fact-finding mission. After the inspection, the real analytical work kicks in. The appraiser dives into researching recent sales of homes in your neighborhood that are as similar to yours as possible. In the business, we call these comps. Then they carefully adjust the value up or down based on differences in size, condition, or features, all to pinpoint your home's true market value. And finally, all of this research and analysis gets compiled into a comprehensive written report. This document lays out the entire process, the data, the comps they used, and the appraiser's professional reasoning. This becomes the official document that you give your attorney and the court to back up that final valuation number. The appraisal isn't just a technical thing, though. It also involves making some pretty important strategic decisions with your spouse, and, of course, with your legal teams. And one of the very first strategic questions you're going to face is this one. Should you and your spouse agree to hire one neutral appraiser together, or should you each go out and hire your own?
Each way has its pros and cons. Using a single, neutral appraiser is almost always cheaper and less confrontational, but it requires both of you to agree. On the other hand, each of you hiring your own appraiser means you each have a dedicated expert in your corner. But this way is more expensive, and you run the risk of getting conflicting values, which can lead to a battle of the experts. This is a really critical choice to talk through with your lawyer.
Okay, now that you understand the process and the strategy behind it, there's really just one final step: finding the right local expert in the San Jose area to put this whole plan into action for you.
In a situation this critical, local expertise really does matter. So for example, for those of you in the San Jose area, one specialist with documented experience in divorce appraisals is Eagle Home Appraisal San Jose.
If you'd like to reach out to them, you can find them at 760 New Hall Drive in San Jose, or just give them a call at the number you see on your screen. They specialize in exactly the services we've been talking about today, including those divorce-ready reports and both current and retrospective valuations, giving you the specific documentation your legal team is going to need.
So we'll leave you with this thought. While the appraisal process seems really technical, its purpose is actually deeply personal. It's all about taking a situation that's filled with emotion and uncertainty and finding a single point of clarity. It's about establishing a solid, objective foundation that you can both build from. So the real question is, could getting this one clear number be the very first concrete step you take toward designing your new future?